A smartphone gimbal. How many people do you know that own one? And how many of them are actually using it? And most importantly, how many people actually know what a smartphone gimbal is? Might it be true that almost no one needs a smartphone gimbal? That would be a pity, because DJI just came up with a new one, and they probably want you to buy it. Luckily, they didn't buy me, so I don't care if you buy it as new OM5. But since I have it here, let's test it in some real-life scenarios. What does a gimbal do? It should serve as a video stabilizer. But most phones have stabilization built into their cameras, which is already quite decent. Usually, the more expensive the phone, the better the stabilization is. Let's assume you don't own the newest and the most expensive phone. But since you're into videos, you didn't buy a mid-range one either. Let's assume you own an iPhone 11 Pro. You might want to shoot a video of your friend while you're walking or running. This is how the iPhone performs without the gimbal. And here's how it performs connected to the OM5. Maybe you have a child that's all over the place, or a cat. In these cases, the challenge is not to lose the subject while you try to film it in motion. That's where tracking comes in handy, the second major gimbal function. You select the subject and the gimbal tracks it. The OM5 has the newest tracking system that should outperform the previous OM4. The previous one was quite good, so what we want to test here is whether it loses the subject when it hides behind an obstacle for a while and then comes out again. Lost me, but found me. Now. All right. Now let's make it a bit harder for the gimbal. 1, 2, 3. And hey. And this is the result. It lost me. In this video, I used the tracking going down the stairs and walking on the street. As you can see, it does not always keep the subject in the center of the frame, as it should, but it doesn't seem to lose it. So this function does the job quite well, but it did its job quite well in the previous OM4 and the previous OM3 as well. So it's okay, but it's not revolutionary, and it's the app that tracks you, not the gimbal itself. It's a software feature. Let's talk about hardware. This is a smartphone. This is a smartphone in my pocket. This is how I take it out, turn the camera on and start shooting. This is a smartphone and a gimbal. This is a smartphone and a gimbal in my pockets. And this is how I try to take them out of my pockets and try to set up for shooting. Conclusion comes after this short message. This video has a sponsor, surprisingly. It's Skillshare. Sponsorships give me the reward of disabling YouTube ads. That's one value I have in common with Skillshare: no trashy ads. Skillshare is ad-free, so you can stay focused while learning. Let's say you want to become a tech reviewer on YouTube. It takes time and practice. And there are no shortcuts, except for taking this class with MKBHD. He shares his knowledge and experience in a very accessible way. But maybe you're interested in something else. The good news is you can explore thousands of classes on Skillshare for 1 month for free. Just click the link in the description, and if you're among the first 1,000 viewers to do so, you get a 1 month free trial of Skillshare. Thank you, Skillshare. The gimbal should be as small as possible when folded and easy to unfold. And connecting the phone should be quick and easy. And if DJI wants to convince me to take it everywhere with me, it should have some extra features. Maybe it could double as a selfie stick, or could have some LEDs to help me shoot in low light conditions. Everything that I mentioned has been introduced before, but in different products. There are many smartphone gimbals on the market. They usually don't unfold very easily though. The smarter magnetic connection between the gimbal and the smartphone was introduced by DJI in their previous model OM4. And here it is in the PowerVision S1, which is a gimbal but also doubles as a wireless power bank. And this Juwin gimbal,
so this is the correct pronunciation for Juwin,
has extra LEDs to help you shoot in low light situations. The OM5 is not a wireless power bank and it can't even charge your phone via cable. I think it's because the battery is rather small. Actually, it's 2.5 times smaller than the battery in the DJI OM4. It still can work for up to 6 hours on one charge, but the gimbal doubles as a selfie stick. Maybe not the longest one, but still it's a selfie stick. Or a half of one. It's a half of a regular selfie stick. The magnetic clamp is useful because you can keep it on your phone all the time and there is no need to balance the phone each time you want to connect it to the gimbal. Okay, let's say it is quite cool, but what can you do with it? This, and this, and maybe this. But if you don't have the experience, you might not know how to do it. That's why DJI introduced shot guides in the newest version of their app. You'll find instructions on how to perform all those pseudo-cinematic shots and shine. Maybe on TikTok, I don't know. But the app takes you step by step through the whole process of creating a short video about your girlfriend's birthday, for example. Some might argue that it's better to spend the birthday with your girlfriend than to focus on filming it. But then she can have the birthday twice. The first one would be a regular one with no cake and a random gift that you grabbed on the way home because you totally forgot that it was today. The second one would be with your outfit matching the color of the cake. And this one is, obviously, for social media. Are you a romantic soul? If you are, you'll probably want to shoot a time-lapse or even a moving one. This is where the joystick comes in handy. You can use it to set up and select starting and ending positions, and even the ones in between. Almost every smartphone gimbal nowadays gives you this option, but I would argue that DJI's app is one of the most intuitive and reliable on the market. Last but not least, you might want to shoot in the dark. Or maybe you create content as a side hustle, meaning you have to do it in the evenings and the regular lighting in your apartment doesn't do the job. Maybe you just want to have those little sparkles in your eyes. This extra clamp will be useful. You have to buy it separately for 60 bucks, but it fits the new gimbal and the previous one as well. This is the new OM5. Do you think you need one? If the answer is yes, I would encourage you to borrow a gimbal from your friend. It doesn't have to be the newest one. It doesn't even have to be a DJI product. Just play with it for a day or two, a week even. And if it doesn't bore you, maybe there's a chance you might want to buy this thing. But if you don't care much about the size, this one is also a good option. And it has a much bigger battery. And if you're on the budget, you might want to buy the OM3. Although the need to balance the smartphone every time you want to use it is a bit frustrating. Having said that, I think that the OM5 is one of the best smartphone gimbals on the market now. Or even maybe the best one out there. But it's not about buying the best product on the market. It's about buying the best product for you. And sometimes it's not buying a product at all. Hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching and see you soon.